com, mate. Obviously, a big clash, first game of the round. What's the key message for the boys coming up against Parramatta?
Yeah, we've just just started on Parramatta today, so we big thing for us was recovering. We had a decent game the last couple of games, but we want to go and attack this game with some vigor. We feel like we've been getting more consistent with team week on week. Obviously missing a couple of guys there, but looking forward to starting the round on Thursday night and going after some footy that we want to play and getting sort of round 2 against Parramatta.
We spoke to you last week about all the things you were happy about with Billy Smith recently. It's another big blow for a young kid who hasn't had a lot of luck.
Yeah, it's just it's moved around his body a bit over the last couple of years. It's been really disappointing for him and us as a team. But through no fault of his, we've just he's just a young guy and his body's sort of learning to adapt to NRL, but also just it's just some ligament issues there that we want to dig a bit deeper. We want to help him, but he's got a big future. We're just going to have to repair this foot and go again.
Obviously more bad luck for you guys with him, on top of Joseph Suwali and then Ikavalu as well on the weekend. We'll have, I guess, an official list in about 90 minutes, but how do you sort of cater for all those losses? I imagine J Moz comes back.
Yeah, obviously J Moz very experienced there, and he comes back in. We're starting to get thin there as a crew. But that doesn't take away. There's no excuses there. There's belief in the way that we want to play, and the players, the 17 that'll play, will be ready to go. But it's obviously been disappointing within 4 weeks. We've sort of lost 3 outside backs.
It makes it very tough when you've been dealing with injuries all year, but when they're concentrated suddenly in one sort of position, it really does test the depth.
Yeah, it's a bit of our year at the moment. It's the way it's been, but spirits are high, and it is the next guy in will go and fill that role and go and do the job. So we just got to keep cracking on. As I said, we believe in what we're doing. The energy that the guys are playing with has been really, really good. We just got to we've got to keep rocking on, but then also step up a gear. We really feel like our game's been good, but we want to take it up a gear in the next couple of weeks to really hammer home the last part of the season. I think there's 6 to go there, and we want to be better, and we'll search for that.
If you do, get this win over Parramatta, obviously 1 win ahead of you on the ladder, it's a real sort of opportunity to push towards a top 4 finish and a second chance.
Yeah, there's a couple of things there. There's opportunity, when it comes to ladder, position, all of that sort of thing that is really important. That's how we judge our game. But there's, all that counts for us is Thursday. And we if you're watching the games, you'll understand we're sort of heading towards a certain continuity there in the way that we want to play. And that's improved. And now we need to lay it down again on Thursday. So the big focus is how we play. The rewards will come if we play well enough.
Thanks, mate.
Hey, Trent, how proud have you been of the boys just kind of showing resilience and fighting through these injuries and kind of getting results in their own way?
Yeah, I think the adaptability of the teams has really been tested, and they've answered the question on multiple occasions this year. So the adaptability within a game as well, either between games with injuries or within the game and being able to play different roles. So I really like the intelligence and the adaptability of the players and the team. And also just the spirit it's hard when you come off a field like that. You're really disappointed to see Billy in that situation again. And Ickers, he's worked his way into first grade and has been doing a great job, scoring tries and carrying out of the backfield like that. And then 2 of those guys, aren't going to be short-term injuries. But then you're also really proud of, you enjoy playing footy. There's different questions that get asked. There's different combinations. They stand next to each other for the first time ever on occasions, and they get it done. And that's that's why I'm really proud of the way that they've gone about playing. You know, it's not on us, because I've never stood Lachlan Lamb and Sam Walker next to each other in a game at training. I've never had reason to stand them next to each other, and then they go out there and do it for half a game, and that's on them. That's a credit to the way that they adapted.
Do you see this season kind of in many ways similar to something like the 2016 season, where I guess it was a bit of a down year, but you can feel the squad is building for something amazing in the future?
Yes and no. We're building to something amazing, but we're not having a down year. That's the difference. There's much more knowledge. There's much more understanding and fight. It took us half the year to sort of work that out. It's taken us a game or two to work that out here, or we've there's probably been one game where we haven't fought like I've wanted us to. So the fight's there. We're not having a down year, but I know these guys are building some tools or adding some tools that are going to propel us forward.
And last one from me, is there any, I guess, sense from you that you might want to kind of dip into the player market before the deadline, just to kind of replace some of these players who've gone down?
Yeah, definitely for us. We're having a look at an outside backs. We're not sure whether we'll do anything at the moment, but we're starting to get. At the moment, we've got one reserve here, a young kid who's a reserve that's only played a couple of reserve grade games, and he's got a good future, but that's all we've got at the moment. So we're having a look, and obviously we need to make a decision by Monday. So yeah, we'll have a look, but make sure it's right for the Roosters.
Any hints at who those players could be?
Definitely not.
Thanks, Trent.
How hard is it, Robbo, for a player to come in at such short notice and instantly click with his new teammates?
Yeah, it's different. You build up memory from the team that you've been at, but also that's up to us if we do go down that path. And I'm not. We haven't decided on anything yet, so I'm not sort of. Nothing's been sorted, and then you'll find out in 5 minutes that we've signed a player. That's not the case. We're still sort of working it out, what's available. But then, and then that's up to us about how much can we integrate a player and how quickly can we integrate them into being a Rooster. And
just with Joseph, he's out completely. He's not an option, is he? I know he's outside the bubble, but the injury season ending?
No, he won't be. He'll probably be right around December to start full training.
Hey Trent, it's Sam from Nine. Hope you're going well, mate.
Sam.
Tough luck about the latest injuries. I just wanted to ask, in your time in rugby league, have you ever seen an injury toll like this for a team?
I don't think so. Not in my time. And it's been so varied. You often look for trends. Whether it's surface or training program, or it's been so varied. And I know across the game, it's quite varied as well. We had a bad weekend there, but also I don't believe in luck. I think you got to take responsibility, but I'm trying to work out how we got to that. It is for us to look long term and work that out, but at the moment it's about moving on and getting the job done.
There's been suggestions of whether the NRL should put a player loan swap in place up there in the bubble for the rest of the year, potentially past the August deadline. Is things like that need to be explored given the circumstances of teams?
Yeah, like say, it could possibly. I think that's definitely right. So usually we would have North Sydney Bears, we'd have a full team playing there, and we'd have our jersey flag, and if we got into a situation, we'd be able to call on any one of those players at this time of year. We've had, so there's always going to be centres and wingers playing for North Sydney, and then we would choose if we needed to, and that's not an option. That's not an option for us here. We don't have anybody outside of the people that are here in the hub that we can call on. So it's very different, and some, adaptability from the NRL is possibly needed there.
And just on this week's game as well, I know it's always a week by week kind of scenario, but is there a big game feel to this in terms of the bigger picture of the top four?
It's funny that, and we haven't talked about it. As I said, you can feel that it's there. Like, you know that the spoils are there, but that's not a driver for us. You know, sometimes it is. I've been in years and teams where that's a driver, knowing that there's such a fire to improve our footy and get more out of ourselves, and we're sort of trying to play a certain style that we're heading towards. That's the most important for us. We know the situation, so there's no difference on that. We know we're close there, and there's an opportunity. But the fight to get the most out of our footy at the moment is at the forefront.
Thanks, Trent.
Hey Trent, it's Savannah from 7 in Mackay. How the boys feeling about travelling up this way and playing up here on Thursday night?
Our home ground in Mackay.
Everyone's pretty keen to see this game this weekend.
Yeah, we can't wait. I think is it sold out up there?
It's sold out in like half a day. Super quick. Everyone's really keen.
Yeah, we're pumped. We had some guys. We played a trial up there at the start of 2017 against the Cowboys, and it was sort of the first look for us of Victor Radley and Satili Tupanua. It was their sort of first games in the Roosters jersey in the full-time squad, and obviously a lot of other guys played in that game as well. So yeah, we're looking forward to coming up to Mackay and doing battle on Thursday night, and it's great. I was really pumped that it did sell out and that people want to come out and watch. So look forward to getting up there.
And how's it going to work for you guys? Are you flying in and out both on Thursday night?
Yeah, we're still unsure. We're still working out details there. We'll be flying up Thursday around lunchtime. And then, we're trying to work out, obviously we're out of the bubble at 6:30 on Wednesday. So it's sort of officially out, but we're still waiting on protocols for how all of that looks. So we'll get to that. So I'm not sure, but can't wait to get up there.
Perfect. Well, safe flight. We'll see you guys soon.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Trent, it's Dre from the Roosters, mate. Hope you're doing well up there. You spoke about, some of those younger guys coming up, Victor and Satili in that last game, but you got Jared playing his 250th game in Roosters colours this week. He becomes the 5th person to do so. What are some of those qualities that he's really shown as a person and as a player over those last 12 years that has really impressed you? And, what are some of those qualities from this season in particular that have?
Well, it's funny, I guess Jared won't mind. We've had a chuckle in the last couple of days about how many people dislike Jared when they watch him play, if they support another team, and then when they meet him, how much they love him. Oh, I didn't think you were going to be like that, and how much geez, you're a nice guy, because Jazz is a big-hearted man, and everybody that comes across him knows how such a good guy he is. But then the other side, the reason they don't like him and the reason Roosters guys love him and Roosters supporters is because of the physicality. He's played 250 games. He's gone after opponents. He's a true front rower. He's gone from a firebrand, playing those early 6 games at Manly, and then coming across, he was wild. He had, earrings and dyed hair and weird haircuts, and, he had all of those things going for him as a young guy, and he's just developed, and it was awesome. I loved watching him play as a young guy, and I love watching him play as a leader of our game. I was lucky enough to sit down on the sideline and hear the physicality of Jared. You just notice how physical the man is when he plays. He asks the question of the opponents each time he plays, and that's why we love him.
And this year in particular, I guess he's, stepped up that extra level with all those guys, I guess the senior players that haven't been there. I mean, what's really impressed you in that last 2-month period?
Yeah, especially there. So we've lost some of our leaders, and you think about what the difference is between about 16 and this year is we had some leaders that decided to throw us on their back and carry us through the last couple of months, and that's been Jared. That's the test of a real leader. You know, you get lots of guys that are in teams, but when a couple of their senior players fall away, they're just not as strong. Whereas that's the test of a real leader and a man who says, "I've got you. I'm going to do something. I'm going to play more time. I'm going to take more carries. I'm going to be more physical," and he's done that. So, you know, that's it's just wonderful to have him.
And a bit of a left field one for my last question. Nat Butcher's a nominee for the Ken Stevens Community Award. I guess, what qualities have you seen from him that makes him a worthy nominee for that particular award?
Yeah, he's a giver. You know, he's just a caring guy. He's the complete opposite of Victor Radley. He's what the two of them, the two close mates. We've got yin and yang there, and Butch is the really real high moral code. Butch, a really honest man, and really giving guy. So yeah, I didn't know that, Dre. So that's really good news to hear for a guy like Butch, because he wouldn't ever mention it. He wouldn't even bring it up, but he'd just go about doing his job. What he looks like on field is who he is off field.
Awesome. Thanks, Trent.
Hey, Robbo, it's Trent from 10. I've got a little left field one for you too here, mate.
Here we go.
20 years Craig Bellamy will reach next year. He's just announced he'll go again as a rival of his. What do you admire about a man who's basically been at the top for 19 years now?
Yeah, just there's the desire to win, and the consistency of the man over a long period of time. There's a couple of coaches in the game that that I really admire, and I saw when I was trying to start off as coaching, he just started, or even when I was still playing, he started coaching, and it's an honour to play your teams against his teams, and 20 years, it's a long time. It's a long time in coaching, and he's done it with honour for that whole time. So well done to him, and well done to Melbourne to keep him going. He's one of the greatest. So congratulations.
Sorry, Robert, one more from me while we're praising people. News during the week, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck going home a bit early to prepare for his union stint, played his last game of rugby league, leaves an enormous legacy.
Yeah, Rog, I saw that this morning, and when you get, that's the last we've seen of him in our game, I think. And then also I can't wait to watch Rog go next. I got to spend fair bit of quality time with Rog, and I can't wait to watch him play. If the man is going to study the game, he came in one of his early 20s games in 2012, the ball went out and he raced to the sideline and tried to throw it back in. So he's definitely a rugby union player coming from across the league. So he's going back to the sport that he grew up with. And he's going back a great representative of what rugby league can do to a young player and now a leader. So let's go, Rog. I can't wait to watch him play.
All set.